And welcome everybody to another edition of the GSMC Baseball Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I am your host, Kenneth Gruenfelder, and once again, it's great to have you guys here on this Friday. So I just, of course, did the football podcast about a half hour ago, just wrapped that up. So now we're back again, doing some baseball, talking some baseball, got some stuff to talk about on the show today. But before I get into that, I just want to remind you guys to tip or donate, get your comments recognized. To become part of the show, make sure to go to the following link. That is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Again, that really helps the show, makes it more interactive between myself, the host, and you, the viewer. And of course, the link is on the ticker on the bottom as well. Again, the link, streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. So we got some stuff to talk about on the show today, the baseball portion. So we'll start off by talking about the Silver Slugger winners. We'll go over that. In the second part of the show, we're going to talk about Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner meeting with the media, the Yankees front office, and I'll talk about some of the things that they had to say with that, because I know it was kind of interesting how that went down, particularly with Brian Cashman. So we'll talk about that, because I know that was really kind of trending, and of course being a Yankee fan as well. Then in the third part of the show, we'll go over the very early power rankings that were released earlier this week. So I'll go over that. I'll give you my thoughts on that. We'll go through it, see what we agree with, what we disagree with, things like that. And then for the final part of the show, we will go over the top free agents going into the offseason, because now we're in the offseason. That's it. The World Series is over. So we got to figure some stuff out to talk about. But yeah, that's the rundown for the show today. So let's get right into the first topic, which is going over the Silver Slugger Award winners for this season. So we'll go position by position, because our MLB lists it, it's by position for each league. So we'll go first base, and then we'll work our way through it. So starting at first base, for the American League, you have Yandy Diaz of the Rays getting that award. And he's actually the first Silver Slugger winner from the Rays since Carl Crawford back in 2010. I looked that up because on MLB it says since 2010. And I assumed, I guess maybe it was Longoria, but no, it was Longoria did win one. Carlos Pena also won one as well, but Carl Crawford won in 2010. I think Longoria won in 2009, and Carlos Pena won in 2007. So yeah, that's going way back. That's going way back to those Rays teams. The 2010s, and obviously, the team that went to the World Series to play the Phillies, back in 2008, a lot of those guys were on that team as well. But Yandy Diaz, won a batting title this year. He's kind of he was. There's some rumors floating around that he could be traded or something, which I think I said it on. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I did see something that said maybe the Mariners are looking to try to get him or something. Again, it's all rumors, all speculation, so you can't really. I don't really know. I have no idea. But so he got the Silver Slugger Award for first base in the American League. Then for the National League, this is kind of no surprise. He had an awesome season, and that was Matt Olson of the Atlanta Braves. What an incredible season he had. He topped the majors in home runs and RBIs. 604 slugging percentage, which was the best in the National League. 54 home runs, 139 yards. 39 yards. Sorry, still got football in the mind. 139 RBIs, which is the most in Braves history. And, there's no surprise there. Now, with the Braves, a disappointing end to their season, of course. I was someone that had them winning the whole thing. I don't really think there was anything wrong with that, but the Braves, they kind of fell flat against the Phillies. But yeah, great season for Matt Olson. So now we go to second base. So in the American League, you got World Series champ Marcus Semien. For the second time, actually, in 3 seasons, Marcus Semien claimed the Silver Slugger Award. And He was named a finalist for AL MVP. He led the American League with 122 runs and 185 hits, and had a 7.4 WAR, which was second in the AL to Shohei Ohtani. He had 73 extra base hits, 320 total bases, which was the most among second basemen. He also drove in 100 runs for the second time in his career. So congratulations to him. And then we move on to the NL winner, and there's no surprise there, and that is Marlins second baseman Luis Arraez, who was great this year. Was batting .400 at one point into late June. He ended up with the .354 batting average. He won his second straight Silver Slugger on the back of his second straight batting title. And this is coming off of getting traded from the Twins. And he actually became the first player during the modern era since 1900 to earn a batting title in each league in consecutive seasons. So congratulations to him. Marlins got a good player. And it really just makes you... I mean, listen, Pablo Lopez did pitch well in the playoffs, but, wonder why the Twins, thought, we should trade him. I mean, I guess to get pitching, but I don't know. But yeah, congratulations to him. We go to shortstop now. You got Corey Seager, another World Series champ from the Texas Rangers. Obviously, another World Series MVP. He's up there in the MVP voting. 33 home runs, 96 RBIs, 88 runs scored, and an AL high 42 doubles this season. And he missed about 6 weeks due to injuries, which that's crazy to think about. He finished second in the American League in batting average, slugging percentage, and OPS. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to the MVP voting, he's going to be up there. Corey Seager for the American League winning shortstop Silver Slugger. And for the NL, it was actually Francisco Lindor of the Mets. But over his 90 games, as it says here in the article, he registered a .288 batting average. He had 19 home runs, 54 RBIs. He finished with 31 home runs and a career-high 31 steals on the year. And obviously, with the new rule changes and things like that, obviously stealing bases became more common. And he became one of just 6 shortstops to go 30 and 30. So that was good for him. So those are the 2 winners for shortstop. Then you go to third base. You got Rafael Devers of the Red Sox taking it. 26 years old, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. For the third time in his career, he's done that. He's a great player for them. At least for Red Sox fans, they could say that Devers is still on their team because it looked like maybe the Red Sox let him go too, but that wasn't the case. And then you got Austin Riley winning it for the Braves. He's also just 26. He paced all qualified third basemen in runs with 117 hits, 179 home runs, 37 extra base hits, 72 total bases, 328, and OPS 861. Austin Riley has hit 30 home runs 3 times in his career, and Hall of Famers Eddie Matthews and Chipper Jones are the only players with more such seasons in a Braves jersey. So that's good company to be in. So congratulations to those 2 guys. And then for the outfield in the American League, you got Luis Robert Jr. of the White Sox, one of the bright spots of the White Sox, even though they had a rough season, of course. 38 home runs on the season for him after hitting a total of 36 through the first 857 at-bats of his career. His 75 extra base hits were the most among AL outfielders and the most by a White Sox outfielder since Jermaine Dye in 2008. So whenever you see a White Sox box on Immaculate Grid, make sure to throw in Jermaine Dye because that's a throwback there. Julio Rodriguez, he won his second Silver Slugger for the Mariners. Got off to a slow start this year, but 32 home runs, 37 stolen bases, and an 818 OPS. He actually was the first player to win this award in each of their first 2 seasons in the big leagues, according to Elias Sports Bureau. He's been great for the Mariners. I mean, a disappointing end to their season, especially because they made the playoffs in 22, but he's going to be a great player for a long time. So he gets his second Silver Slugger, and of course you got Kyle Tucker getting his first. of the Astros. He was great this season. And he finished one home run shy of Houston's first 30-30 season since 2004. And he hit 354 with runners in scoring position, and he racked up an AL leading 112 RBIs. I mean, he's a great player for the Astros. So congratulations to both of those guys. And then in the National League, I mean, the guys that are here, it's not a surprise. You got Ronald Acuna Jr., who, of course, 41 home runs, 73 stolen bases on the season. He was unbelievable, the National League MVP. He's going to win his third. And Mookie Betts is getting his 6th Silver Slugger Award, and he was he's going to be the runner-up most likely. His stats this year, were the best since his 2018 AL MVP campaign, and he hit a career-high 39 home runs, 80 extra base hits for the second time in his career, and led all position players aside from Ohtani with an 8.3 WAR on the season. And then you got Juan Soto, who's of course part of Train Talks for the Padres. Another great season for him, 35 home runs, 410 on-base percentage, 132 walks. And he became the first player since Barry Bonds from the 02-04 season to lead MLB outright in base on balls for 3 consecutive seasons. So then we go to the catching spot. Adley Rutschman of the Orioles, he gets his first career Silver Slugger, 277 on the season, 20 home runs, 80 RBIs, 92 walks, 256 total bases, were also the most among catchers and the second most by a primary catcher in Orioles history. And then you have William Contreras of the Brewers getting his first, 17 home runs on the season, led all qualified catchers in doubles, extra base hits, and slugging percentage. Contreras batted .314 with an .873 OPS following the All-Star break. So then we go to the designated hitter. Of course, you got Shohei Ohtani for the Angels. I mean, what is there to say about him that hasn't been said already? 44 home runs, 412 on base percentage, 325 total bases, were at the top of the American League. And he also accomplished this while also being a starting pitcher. He's going to win MVP. He should. And we'll see what happens in the offseason. That is going to be something to definitely keep an eye on. And then you got Bryce Harper getting his third for the Phillies. 18 home runs and 1,000 OPS over his final 68 games. It did take him some time to, get going, but, and obviously dealing with the offseason elbow surgery. But, 21 home runs, 51 extra base hits. He actually went homerless for 37 games. Forgot about that. But then he snapped that streak on July 15th. And then utility guys, you got Gunnar Henderson, who is the favorite to win AL Rookie of the Year, and you got Cody Bellinger of the Cubs, who had a bounce-back season, batting .307 with 26 home runs and an .881 OPS. And so with Gunnar Henderson, crushed 28 home runs, including the longest to land on Utah Street during a game in Camden Yards, 31-year history. So that's interesting. And he actually was also the 15th rookie to claim a Silver Slugger. So congratulations to both of those guys. And, just congratulations to all of the Silver Slugger winners. A lot of the great players obviously getting it this year. A couple of World Series champs, of course, getting it as well. Those are all the winners. And with that, we are going to take now our first break of the show. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about the Yankees and what their front office had to say this past week to the media. So stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.